So for many of you, recreational fishing and fish habitat restoration might seem like quite an unusual mix, but in reality, recreational fishers are really showing a lot of leadership in this way, in this space. And I've been really fortunate in my last 18 months at Recfish West to be working on a FRDC project with fishing conservation group Ozfish Unlimited, looking at how recreational fishers can take a lead in this space and looking if we can empower them as champions of fish habitat. And the idea behind this is really simple. Recreational fishers get this message really easy. They're out there all the time fishing in all these different habitats, so they know the habitats are important for the fish. And because of their knowledge through their generation of families fishing or through their fishing clubs, they see the changes in the quality of fishing and associating this with the changes in the habitat. So the idea behind this project was that if you could give a bit more guidance to these guys who already get the message really clearly and point them in the right direction, you could have a group, an army, let's say, of volunteers across Australia working to restore fish habitat and improve fisheries for everyone involved. I was really lucky as part of this project to talk to Bob Pearce, who is part of the Albert Park Yachting and Angling Club, and he's been involved in a project restoring oyster reef in Port Phillip Bay. Now, for him, he told me again it was really simple. His club had a long history, and they knew that through this history they'd seen loss of oyster reefs, and they'd associated a big decline in the snapper catches they'd have with this loss of oyster reefs. And for them it was really obvious if they could somehow get a project up that could bring back that oyster reef, they could bring back the fish and get more fish to catch. So there was a really clear role for them in a fish habitat restoration project, and that created the need for a project to go forward. So that project's up and running now and has a range of really great partners. And while the government and a range of other partners got on board really quickly with it, Bob did say he was surprised at how many of the stakeholders involved in it struggled to get on board. So that's one challenge. He said that despite it was really obvious a lot of guys would get benefit out of this project, he couldn't quite work out why they weren't getting on board. So I'm going to hand over now to Robert, who's actually an oyster farmer, so he's going to have a really interesting perspective on this project. And he went out and talked to one of the conservation sectors who's involved in this project and looked at what are some of the barriers and opportunities for them when they're involved in fish habitat restoration.